The following clip was recorded by Melhia Davis, a woman who is fully convinced that her house is haunted. For months, she's been dealing with things she just can't explain. Faint footsteps in the hallway long after everyone is asleep, doors clicking open in the early hours of the morning, and the feeling of being watched whenever she walks past her kids' rooms. One night, after putting her children to bed, this happened. Watch. First, she heard strange sounds coming from down the hallway. When she went to trace the noise, she saw the white door slowly closing on its own. Not long after, scratching sounds began coming from the walls, and before she could even process that, her TV suddenly turned itself on, without anyone touching the remote. She's burned camphor, she's tried cleansing her space with Palo Santo, and she's done everything people recommended to keep the energy calm. But nothing seems to be changing. Now, for the sake of her children, leaving is starting to feel like the only option left. Yet, many viewers insist that since nothing harmful has happened, the spirit might simply be seeking attention or trying to communicate. But is it really worth waiting until something does happen? What exactly do you think she's dealing with, and is moving out the right call or a rash decision? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. In the following clip, a woman who has been dealing with what she believes is a mimic decided to sage her home, and for a while everything went quiet. No strange voices, no footsteps, no movement in the corners, just silence. Until one night, this happened. Watch this.
So she's back. The last time I made this video, people were saying that it's my double reflection. But I'm just gonna put up my hand here. Yeah, the sage has worn off.
Aside from the mimic-like reflection in the window, viewers pointed out something even more disturbing. Another figure lurking in the darkness. When she realized this, it added an entirely new mystery to her situation. She also mentioned something most people found chilling. Whenever she turns around, nothing is there. She only ever sees the mimic through window reflections, never directly. Some think that means this thing is tied to reflective surfaces, almost like it can only reveal itself when she isn't looking at it head on. Others believe it's intentionally avoiding being seen, which could mean it's growing more aware or more dangerous. But the detail that caused the biggest debate? The fact that she saged the house. Many viewers believe that if she was dealing with a mimic, saging may have been a mistake. Not because sage is bad, but because some entities don't flee from cleansing. They get agitated by it. A few even suggested that sage might have pushed the mimic deeper into hiding, making it harder to track and possibly attracting something else in the process. But I'll leave that part to you. Was saging the house helpful, or did it make things worse? In this next clip, an explorer visits the former home of a woman named Rebecca, a place many locals believe is still haunted by her spirit. Have a look.
No. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you freaking kidding me? Okay. All right.
When you knock on a door and it opens by itself, especially in a house with a history like this, there are a few unsettling possibilities. Some believe that in the paranormal world, a door opening on its own can be a form of invitation, a spirit responding to your presence, acknowledging that it heard you. Others say it's a sign of residual activity, where the house is replaying something Rebecca used to do in life, almost like an echo of her routine. But the interpretation that creeped people out the most is the idea of intelligent interaction, meaning the spirit isn't just present, but aware. If the door opened right after he knocked, some think Rebecca might be answering the door the same way she would have when she was alive, only now she's doing it from the other side. So was this a simple coincidence, a residual replay, or Rebecca herself responding? You decide. Now, in this next video, a woman named Kyla, who has talked before about hearing strange things around her home, like faint footsteps on her porch at night, whispers outside her bedroom window, and soft knocks on her walls with no one there, experienced something even more unsettling. This time, she was outside, and her doorbell camera caught what appears to be a ghostly voice. Listen closely.
Inside, Kaylee, go! Kaylee, go! Oh no, he's gonna grab his keys and you're gonna have to leave me. What the fuck was that?
An unknown entity clearly says, "Hey, hey, hey." When a spirit communicates only through voice but never shows itself physically, many believe it could mean a few things. Some say it's the sign of a disembodied spirit, one that hasn't fully manifested but is still strong enough to interact with sound. Others think it could be a mimic trying to lure attention, using a friendly tone so the person lowers their guard. And in some cases, a voice without a form is said to be the start of a progression, where the activity slowly builds over time, eventually becoming louder, more frequent, and even more personal. If this is the beginning stage, what comes later could be anything from full apparitions to objects moving on their own, depending on the intention of whatever is trying to communicate with her. For now, all we know is, something spoke, and it wasn't human. Now, experiencing a mimic for the first time can be overwhelming in a way you can't quite prepare for. Hearing a voice that sounds exactly like you echoing through your own home, especially when you know you're completely alone, isn't just confusing, it hits you with a kind of fear that goes straight to your spine. It feels wrong on every level, like reality is glitching. That's exactly what happened to the man in this clip, and he still hasn't recovered from the shock. He also has no idea how to make sure it never happens again. Take a look.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I told you. Come here.
But here's the big question. What do you do when you hear your own voice in your house? Some people insist the first step is setting boundaries out loud, telling whatever is there that it is not allowed to mimic you. Others swear by protection practices like cleansing with smoke, salt barriers at doorways, or placing mirrors facing outward to bounce back unwanted energy. Then there's the other side of the debate. Some believe that confronting or acknowledging a mimic only makes it stronger, since mimics are known for feeding off attention and fear. Sadly, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, I don't know what you're doing. You can literally hear that. You can literally hear that. No. What the fuck? Oh my god. No.
According to some of his friends, the safest thing to do is to ignore it completely, act like you didn't hear a thing, and avoid giving it any emotional reaction. but a few insist that mimics are a sign of a deeper energy imbalance in the home, something that may require a medium, a cleansing ritual, or even relocating if the activity escalates, but like other videos, I'll let you be the judge of this one. Now in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration through one of Nebraska's most haunted places, the Argo Hotel. This time, he decided it was finally time to check out room 1, the only room he hadn't stepped into yet. He sounded casual, even a little curious, but there was a slight hesitation in his voice, the kind that slips out when you're not entirely sure what you're about to walk into. At first glance, the room looks surprisingly normal, neat, quiet, almost welcoming. Definitely not what he expected from the creepiest room guests kept warning him about, but then, out of nowhere, this happened. Watch.
My voice. Could you? Whoa. No way. Oh God, oh God. That thing is freaking moving. I mean, it is windy outside, but still, that's like really moving. Is this your jewelry? It's very beautiful. Could you move it again? I'm just trying to think of any rational explanation, but I've got nothing. I can't think of anything. Like I said, it is really windy outside. I can literally hear it whistling out there. But none of it's getting into here, so... I mean, I would be feeling that, like, especially if it's moving that much. Like, you would feel that gusto when you'd hear it. Whoever moved that necklace, could you tell me your name? I'm getting a little freaked out now. Something else just moved. And it's always got to be behind me. Why does it always have to be freaking behind me? It freaks me out. What the heck got moved? I'm not even sure. I smell something floral. It smells like perfume. I mean, it could be coming from this. I don't really smell it from there, though. It's like coming from somewhere else. Ma'am, is that your perfume I'm smelling? I'm not alone in this room. I am not alone. That came from over in here now. It sounded like the bed. The bed moving. Holy shit. Nope. I'm done. I'm done.
Room 1 is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a woman. A presence guests claim loves to brush against people while they sleep, as if checking whether they're awake. Some even said they felt a hand on their arm or shoulder in the middle of the night. After Ian finally calmed his nerves and worked up the courage to go back inside, something else happened.
Literally had to reach from underneath here and pull this. That takes a lot of force. Was that you who just undid this bedding? If so, I'm gonna dare you to pull the blankets off the rest of the way. Could you do that for me? Oh no. Oh no. What the hell is that now? There's freaking water. water running in there. What the hell is that? Is that the freaking bathtub? What the hell? Oh my god. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Alright, I'm done. I'm done with this room. I'm ready to be out.
And that moment was enough for him. No more theories, no more doubt. To Ian, this was absolute proof that the Argo Hotel is haunted. For more haunting videos, including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by Sarah and her friend Sean when they went to check out an abandoned building nobody in town goes near anymore. Watch this.
Hello? Was that your stomach? Was it?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Amy, stop. No, it wasn't.
That was not my.
What the fuck? What the fuck is it? Are you sure?
I'm not kidding.
Okay. We didn't even shut the door. That's okay. You promised though?
Yes.
It sounded like a... Right? It sounded like it was right next to us.
It sounded like hello.
Yeah, and it sounded like it was right next to us. Okay. Just one more time. You promise that wasn't your stomach?
Baby. Yes.
I mean, I heard you right after go. Alright, well, we got what we came for. I've never ran from something so fast in my life. Wait, I've been recording.
You'll notice the entity replied instantly and knocked back when they knocked, and when they said hello, a voice responded. They didn't waste any time. They rushed out of there, their nerves completely shot. But what they found out afterward made their brief encounter even more chilling. Locals later told them that years ago, the building had been used as a boarding house, and that one of the tenants, a man who lived in the upper floor, was rumored to have died inside after being isolated and neglected. People say he spent his last days knocking on the walls, trying to get someone's attention, but no one ever came. Hearing that, Sarah and Sean couldn't shake the feeling that the knocks they heard weren't random creaks of an old building, but the desperate echo of someone still trying to answer back after all these years. Which makes you wonder, did they walk away from just another abandoned structure, or from a place where someone's voice is still waiting to be heard? Now, in this next clip, a man is describing the strange occurrences that have been plaguing his house when something else turns up on camera. Watch closely.
I've lived in this house for probably close to a year now, and I've never had anything happen here. I've never once thought that there was any kind of like haunting stuff going on or ghosts or anything like that. Until a couple weeks ago when I was given kind of a strange gift. I am really into like spooky decor, funeral home stuff, like all that. I love it. But a friend of mine messaged me and was like, hey, I'm at this estate sale and they have like all this funeral home stuff. Do you want any of it? They had an actual like embalming table, which I really wanted, but they were asking way too much money for it. They had all these old bottles and stuff like that. And I said, just give me something. And they ended up getting me these like lab grade like test tube things. And these are like legit Pyrex brand, like super high quality glass, right? Came from a funeral home. So I'm totally into it, right? So I bring them in the house, I clean them up, and I don't quite know where I'm gonna put them yet.
While he's mid-story, trying to explain the late night noises and the odd chills, there's a figure standing just behind the door. Then, in a blink, it's gone. People jump to conclusions fast, calling it a malevolent presence, and it's easy to see why. The man had recently bought a handful of odd items at an estate sale, stuff that came from a closed funeral home. He chalked it up to quirky decor at first, but the soundscape around his house changed after that. Those delicate, high-pitched glass noises you get when a thin crystal or a lamp edge is tapped. A quick tinkle, a soft chime, the kind of clink that makes you turn your head. He'll hear those tiny glass notes echo through the night, check the room, and everything sits exactly where it should. He's no stranger to spooky decor, he collects the macabre on purpose, but even he says this is different. The items arrived silent, the house didn't. Now, with a shadow appearing in the doorway while he talks about it, the line between coincidence and something far darker feels dangerously thin. So, was that a trick of light, a camera artifact, or something that shouldn't be in his house at all? You decide. The lady in the next clip woke up at 4:19 a.m. by the sound of something heavy hitting the floor, a crash that made her heart pound. But when she got up to look, there was nothing out of place. She'd had a recent scare. Someone tried the front door a few nights earlier, so she didn't want to dismiss it. She pulled up the footage from the cameras she'd installed after the near break-in, and this is what she found. Watch. When she posted the clip, a few viewers suggested poltergeist-style activity, objects thrown or toppled by an unseen force when tensions or emotions are high in a home. She wants this to be a one-off, and she's already told close family it's probably nothing and that she'll double-check the hooks. But she also admits she sleeps with a lamp on now and checks the locks twice. So what do you think? Something to overlook, or something that shouldn't be dismissed that easily? I'll leave this one with you. This next clip was captured by another friendly ghost believer who claims the ghost haunting her house actually listens to her. Watch this.
So guys, my door. There's a ghost in my room and it closes my door. It's gonna be a while, but you're gonna see it. Come on, close it. You're almost there. Close my door. Close it. No, I don't want you to open it. Close it. Just close it already. Do it. Come on. I do not have all fucking day. Close it so I can go to sleep. Thank you, I guess.
Several people brushed it off as coincidence, but she insists otherwise. She says there are moments when she asks the ghost to stop slamming doors or to turn the lights back off, and to her surprise, it does. Sometimes it even feels like the activity changes depending on her mood, calmer when she's calm, louder when she's upset, almost as if it's responding to her. But isn't there a reason the words ghost and haunting are so often paired together? The very word haunting suggests something unsettling, a presence that lingers where it doesn't belong. Still, there are those who believe not all hauntings are meant to frighten. Some say spirits can linger out of attachment, sarmi, to a person, a place, or even a routine. And in those cases, they might not be hostile at all. They might even try to coexist in their own strange way. Others argue that what seems friendly could be a trick, pointing out that a presence that starts off harmless may shift over time, wearing down trust before revealing darker intentions. So, would you welcome a presence like this, or would you be looking for a way out? Now, this next video is about a man who believes his late wife's ghost is haunting him, and he claims he has several CCTV footage to prove it. Watch this.
Guys, this is just a quick update because I gotta get to work, but when I got up this morning to get my coffee, I walked into the kitchen and saw this. So I guess you guys were right that activity seems to be picking up because I have been, doing renovations. I replaced all this stuff, this dishwasher, this stove, the oven hood there, but this morning when I came into the kitchen, I noticed the cabinet was open, and then I noticed this chair. So I checked the Ring video, and it definitely...
If it really is her, then it seems she doesn't approve of the new renovations he's made around the house. But that's not the only thing he's had to deal with. He says the TV sometimes switches to her favorite shows late at night, no matter what channel he leaves it on. He's found picture frames of them together moved to the floor, almost as if someone didn't want them displayed. And more than once, he's woken up to the faint scent of her perfume lingering in their bedroom, even though the bottle has been empty for years. At first, he thought it might have been comforting, like she was still with him. But now, with things being knocked over, lights flickering every time he talks about moving forward, and shadows caught on his cameras, it's starting to wear him down. So the real question is, if this truly is his wife's spirit, how does he find peace without feeling like he's abandoning her memory? And if it isn't her, then what exactly is haunting him, and how does he ever escape it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. The following clip was recorded by a woman who runs a cleaning business and spent the day at a mansion where the previous owners said every cat in the house had died in the same room. While she worked, she noticed a tiny movement just out of the corner of her eye, and at one point, a shadow that didn't match anything in the room. She shook it off because the work had to be done, but the house lingered with her. That night, after she left and tried to sleep, the nightmares began. She woke from a shallow dream of tiny paw prints crossing her kitchen floor and of a cramped, filthy room where something small and frightened tapped at a window that would never open. When she told friends, they chalked it up to the day's stress, until the next job proved otherwise.
Oigan, ¿qué es eso de ahí? No sé qué sea. ¿Escuchan? Se escucha como si golpearan la pared. Oigan, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué podrá ser? No sé si logran escuchar. Aquí ya me han apagado la luz anteriormente. Me da miedo pasar por el pasillo. ¿Escucharon? Hello. Ay, no. Ya me quiero ir, estoy esperando la ropa, ya me quiero ir. Se está escuchando muchísimos ruidos. Escucha que gritan. ¿Qué será? Voy a poner la segunda parte. Se están escuchando muchísimas voces. Me tengo que ir.
The next job she had was at a house where the owner took his own life, and as she finished cleaning, she saw something strange.
Si a donde te acabas de mudar te espantan, has vivido o estás viviendo en un apartamento, miren chicos, esos dedos también se mira como marca de dedos. Es increíble cómo va a ser esa marca ahí si ya limpiamos. Además se ve como que si se hubiera agarrado de allá arriba. No puedo creerlo. Es que ya aquí prácticamente ya se terminó. Nada más es recoger eso y vámonos. Ya vámonos, güey. ¿Escuchaste la puerta? Ya vámonos. Sí. Ahorita te ayudo ahí. Sí. ¿Escuchaste cómo se escuchó la puerta? Sí. Ya nada más nos falta terminar aquí para irnos. ¿Miraste la mano que se quedó en el refri? Está de arriba. Así que, sí, ahí arriba. Ponme un comentario si donde vives espantan. No, ya sé, ya nos vamos a ir. O sabes que haya pasado algún crimen, algo malo, ponme un comentario.
The handprint was too small to be an adult's, and she'd cleaned every surface with bleach and steam. Nothing should have been left behind. People who follow her videos say her job makes her vulnerable, and that the work forces her into intimate spaces filled with memory, lies, and stale emotions. Luckily, she's found a way to protect herself, so taking anything home is not something she's worried about anymore. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continued his exploration at a cemetery near Timberlake Road with stories about the woman in white who lost her entire family in a single day and, unable to cope, ended her own life. As he walked deeper through the quiet street, he eventually found the cemetery where her family was laid to rest. And that's when things started happening.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That freaking sounds like children in there. I keep hearing like high-pitched voices. Hello? Ghostly children? Is that you I'm hearing? I definitely have the feeling that I am not alone in here. I am just waiting for something to pop out at me. Hello? Oh my god! Oh god, what the hell was that now? Freaking sounded like something rustling over here in one of these bushes. I mean, it could be an animal, to be fair. Hello? Dude! That was a freaking child's voice again! I'm getting freaked out already. I just barely entered this place.
At first, Ian pulled out his spirit box to try and open a line of communication, but before he could even focus on the static voices, something else caught his eye.
How old are you? What was that? What was that? Holy moly, something just flew by that freaking tree over there. Oh my god, what the heck was that? Hello?
A pale shape drifted just out of view, gone before he could get a clear look. And then, by one of the graves, he noticed something strange. a ball, perfectly still on the ground. Ian swore it wasn't there moments earlier, but as he raised his camera to take a few pictures, what he saw left him absolutely stunned.
Little boy or little girl, whoever you are, could you move this ball again, just like you did? Even just a little tiny bit. That would be wonderful. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! What was that? Dude, something just showed up in that photo. It was a freaking figure. It was standing right there. Standing right by the freaking tombstone. Holy sh**. Oh my god. Holy crap, dude. It was literally just standing there. Vivid. It looked like a little kid. Short in stature. It was almost as tall as his freaking gravestone. I'm sorry, I hope I didn't scare you. You just kind of scared me a little bit. Oh my freaking god. I want to look back at that photo, but I want to keep taking them just in case something else shows up. I think I'm going to take a look at it. Oh my god, there it is. There it is. Holy shit, dude, that's like a freaking figure. It literally looks like a child. Oh my god. It literally looks like a freaking child standing there. Except it's like non-physical. Like a spirit. Oh my god, that is absolutely insane. Holy crap. I have got goosebumps everywhere right now. No way! No way! No way! It freaking just rolled over there now! Holy shit!
This was the moment Ian decided he'd gone far enough. He left the cemetery unsettled and unsure if he had just crossed paths with the woman in white herself, or if it was the restless spirits of her children reaching out through the silence. Either way, one thing is clear. Something still lingers here, and it doesn't want to be forgotten. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured inside a restaurant housed in a very old building by Catalina, a woman who has been working there for nearly 8 years. According to her, this isn't the first time strange things have been reported within those walls. She's heard stories from customers who claim to see shadows flicker when no one was there, co-workers who refused to close alone at night after hearing footsteps, and her friend who once swore he saw someone walk past the freezer only to find the room completely empty. For years, Catalina brushed it all off, until one night during the end of her shift, she finally experienced it for herself. Watch this. After seeing the footage, many people were quick to dismiss it, insisting it was nothing more than physics, saying one of the bottles must have lost its balance, causing the others to topple over. But Catalina pointed out something. According to her, the bottles were resting firmly against the wall, which means if anything was going to fall, it should have been the bottles near the edge, not the one secured at the back. So if balance doesn't explain it, what does? Was this just a bizarre accident? Or is it the same unseen force that so many others in the restaurant claim to have felt? Until more moments like this are caught on camera, the truth behind what happens in this restaurant remains shrouded in mystery. Most people avoid hospitals not just because of the long waits, the smell of disinfectant, or the constant reminder of sickness and death, but because of the unsettling stories tied to them. Stories of spirits that never checked out, lingering in the halls, and strange encounters that staff quietly whisper about during late night shifts. This time, McGee, a lady who works in a hospital, shared how strange things always seem to happen, especially in one particular restroom on the top floor. And during one of her shifts, she finally caught something on camera. Watch closely.
Stop. What the hell is making this door do that?
She explained that before the clip, it took time for anything to happen. The door didn't open until she placed her phone down to wash her hands. Then, just as she started to relax, the door creaked open on its own. To make matters worse, there was no one else in the restroom with her, and she could clearly hear footsteps above her. But here's the thing, she was on the top floor. When she told her boss about it, the reaction on her face said it all, almost as if she'd been through something similar herself. And McGee was right. Later that week, she heard from coworkers that others had complained about the same restroom, hearing crying when no one was inside, or catching a glimpse of someone in the mirror only to turn and find the space empty. So even if there's a logical explanation for what McGee recorded, why do hospitals always seem to carry this heavy, unsettling energy? Is it because of all the pain and grief within their walls? Is it the lingering presence of those who passed away there? Or is it simply the mind playing tricks in such an eerie environment? I'll leave that for you to decide. Now, the man in this next clip started a little street-level docu-series, Paranormal in Plain Sight, to show that if the supernatural is real, it won't just hide in graveyards, it will turn up in the most mundane environments. One afternoon during lunch break, something happened. Watch.
¿Qué tal, amigos? ¿Cómo están? Oigan, estoy en mi hora de comida, pero no van a creer, amigos. Ahorita escuché que se movió el carrito. No lo vi. Escuché que ese carrito se movió, amigos. Se escuchó así clarito como si lo hubiera alguien agarrado. Bueno, no sé, a lo mejor son mis nervios. Miren, no sé si se fijan, estoy temblando. Pero sí, clarito escuché que lo movieron, amigos. Clarito. Si yo, pues no alcancé a grabarlo, obviamente. Pero mire, no manches, mira. Chéquense. Ustedes me van a decir si soy yo, son mis nervios, no sé. Pero, miren, no manches. No manches, amigos. Se movió. El carro se movió. Estoy seguro. Se movió, amigos. Se movió.
Besides the cart moving, many viewers swore they heard a woman's voice whisper, "Let's go," in Spanish. But he insists no one was near enough for it to sound that close to his phone's mic. Skeptics tried to wave it off as store quirks, like uneven tiles, but according to him, none of those explanations fit, because the tiles were perfectly leveled, and at the time it happened, there was no strong airflow in that aisle. Yet the cart started from a dead stop, and moved as though guided. And the voice couldn't have come from the PA system, since there was no chime before it, no radio static, and the store manager confirmed no announcements were being made. What he captured looks less like random glitches and more like something deliberate. So was this all a chain of coincidences stacking up at the perfect time? Or was it proof that even a grocery store aisle can become a stage for the paranormal? Let me know what you think. This next clip was recorded by a woman who had been documenting the strange things happening in her house ever since she moved in, hoping to one day find an explanation. Some nights it was the sound of faint tapping against her bedroom wall. Other times it was the sudden creak of floorboards when no one else was home. But one morning she woke up to something she never expected. Watch this.
Go up here.
Look at my mirror. My mirror's cracking by itself.
What's happening? Wait, stop.
Harry, my mirror is cracking by itself.
It's cracked twice so far. Why is it cracking by itself?
I have
no idea.
There's two bees.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Alright, let's just carry on with it. Right. It's a bee.
Stay there, don't go near it.
This way. I know. Mom, I know. There's a naughty mirror. Wait.
Okay.
Why is the mirror cracking?
I don't know.
I know. Maybe the naughty 7.
How do you explain a mirror that was perfectly intact when you went to bed, only to wake up and find it cracked with a face that seems to be staring back at you through the cracks? Of course, mirrors can break on their own for all sorts of reasons: shifts in temperature, pressure points, or weak spots in the glass. But when there's a face, it's hard for anyone not to completely freak out. And what makes it creepier is that she swears the mirror wasn't just broken randomly. It looked as though something had deliberately marked itself onto the glass. Till this day, no one in her family has been able to explain how it happened. The following clip is about a guy named Dustin, and if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll remember we featured his story before. Dustin believes something has attached itself to him. Dark figures that aren't his shadow seem to follow him everywhere he goes. Sometimes they groan, other times they whisper his name, and this time, while he was working an overnight shift, this happened. Watch.
First off, the lights are not supposed to be on in here. Secondly, this one was flashing right before I started recording. Are you good? What the f?
Just before the video ends, you can see a figure standing by the exit sign near the door, and some viewers even swore they heard a faint voice saying, "Leave." But as unsettling as that moment was, Dustin wasn't surprised, because he knows a spirit is attached to him, and he's already tried every trick in the book to free himself. Cleansing rituals, prayers, charms, nothing worked. The next time he captured something, he was at home, filming a casual video about dinner when this happened.
I'm gonna get ice because I am out, but
Looking like you.
got it. But okay. So this is it. It's pretty good. This is probably just because the microwave was like higher than normal, maybe? I don't.
Right before the knife shifted on its own, a low raspy voice can be heard, and while the knife movement was terrifying on its own, what really got to him was hearing that voice when he reviewed the footage later. Viewers can't agree on what it said, but maybe you'll hear it for yourself. For Dustin, this is becoming a nightmare that follows him everywhere, and the fear of being alone haunts him daily. Yet it's impossible to avoid being alone forever because people leave, shifts end, the silence comes, and those overnight shifts don't help his case. Watch this.
I came out to my car to get nail glue. Please tell me you heard that.
Dustin has even considered involving the police, but as he puts it, what are the police gonna do about the paranormal? Maybe just take me in for a psych evaluation. And honestly, he has a point. But what about that figure caught crouching on the roof, looking down at him? No one can explain who or what while that was. And the scariest part is that it doesn't matter where he is. At work, at home, even out on the street, it follows. Take a look. It's easy for outsiders to dismiss what they don't experience, but Dustin is living with the fear, the anxiety, and the exhaustion every single day, and perhaps the most terrifying part is not knowing if he'll ever find a way out. Some believe it's a ghost, others claim it's demonic, but like always, I'll let you be the judge. The following video is about a man named Troy, and the disturbing things that have been happening in his house. Watch this. It's like whatever's in there can't decide what it wants to do. Troy's convinced it's a demon, and honestly, with the growling sounds he's captured, you can understand why. But then again, why would a demon even be in his house in the first place? That's the question that keeps him up at night. Do entities like this just pick random places to attach themselves to? Or is there always a reason people overlook? Whatever's in Troy's home doesn't limit itself to one spot either. It moves, from the living room to the hallway, and even to places he'd least expect. Take a look. Before the crawlspace door was even opened, look closely at the table. Small movements, subtle signs, almost like something was walking around the room restless. All of this has made Troy absolutely certain he's not alone in his own home. Now, people online have plenty of theories. Some believe something must have been buried under the property before the house was built, maybe the spirit of someone disturbed. Others think it's a classic case of a mimic, a malevolent entity pretending to be something harmless until it's not. And then, of course, there are those who believe Troy might have unknowingly invited something in, through objects, rituals, or even emotions like grief or anger. But things got a lot worse when the activity stopped happening only when no one was home. Now, they're seeing things in real time, and it's starting to affect his son too. Watch this. The boy said he saw a face staring at him from inside the crawlspace when the door opened, and that's why he ran to his dad. Right now, Troy's desperate for answers, for guidance on what to do before this escalates any further. So, if you've ever had to deal with something similar, or know what steps might help, drop your thoughts below. You never know. Your advice could be what saves this family. In this next video, a man shares a strange problem he's been dealing with at his shop. Every single morning when he comes in, he finds his occupancy certificate lying on the floor. Everything else in the shop is perfectly fine. Nothing stolen, nothing moved. Just that one frame. He even went as far as securing it in a sturdy frame, thinking maybe a gust of wind was knocking it down. But no. The very next day, same thing. On the floor again. So he decided to check his security footage, hoping it would finally give him an explanation. This is what he saw. Watch.
So we're gonna trick him, okay, guys? Because Again, they knocked it down. Just seeing the video of it, they knocked down the door again. So you want to knock down my certificate of occupancy, now you got to knock down the price of this too. Right? So that's what we're going to do. So we'll see how long it takes us to do it. Or she. Right, or she. Yeah. Oh my God.
Now, he's starting to think maybe whatever's behind this doesn't want him there, or doesn't like what that certificate represents. Some people say it could be a former occupant, still attached to the space and refusing to let anyone else claim it. Others think it's something symbolic, like the spirit's way of rejecting the idea of ownership altogether. Either way, he's out of logical explanations. So what do you think? Is he reading too much into it, or is something really trying to send him a message? Now, in this next video, a lady moves into her grandpa's house after he passed away. It was his final wish for her to live there. But from the moment she stepped inside, she realized the place wasn't quite what she expected. Her grandfather had one of the strangest antique collections imaginable, from old clocks that still ticked without batteries to faded portraits and porcelain dolls that seemed to stare right at you. Out of respect, and maybe a bit of nostalgia, she decided not to get rid of any of them. And for a while, everything seemed fine. Until things started getting weird. Watch this.
This thing just moved.
Boy, all the talking heads would have been screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and skipping forth in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a division win. See how they win. There's a saying in golf: there's no pictures on the scorecard. If you're Dallas, you don't care if it's by $5 or it's going to be like. You just happy that you moved for 2 or 2. The injury to Parsons, and we don't know anything at this point. He just left by a car with the left shoe off. How do you assess?
The door just moved. Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
If we're being honest, that's one creepy mannequin. It almost looks like there's someone trapped inside, the face twisted like it's in pain. She has no clue where her grandfather got it from, but she's starting to think keeping it around might have been a mistake. Still, before jumping to conclusions, she wants to be sure she's not imagining things. So, what do you think? Is it all in her head, or is there a possibility that her grandpa might have known more about the mannequin than he let on? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. In the following video, a few men were burning down an old house on their property, something they'd planned for months and even got permission from the fire department to do. It was raining that day, the air thick with smoke and steam as the fire began to spread through the fragile old wood. Everything seemed normal until they reviewed the footage. Watch this.
Okay. I'm gonna try and look in and see what it's like. It's pretty good.
Oh, it did that low.
You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look through the window. It's like exploding. Hold your breath and go look. Just make sure you can get out because it's pretty cute. It's pretty amazing inside there. Did you look in the doorway?
Yeah, flames are coming out.
No, better not be.
Graham, all better be out there. We're out. Oh, I'm actually. Oh, I'm actually. Yeah, hey, Graham, all of y'all get out.
Woo! It's getting out of hand right now. Hey, the water's dripping off the house is hot. Whoa. Whoa, you hear that? Gee whiz. It's like busting the glass out. Look at that. Gee, you hear it?
Right there, through the rising flames, a faint figure can be seen moving, but everyone swears no one was inside when they lit the fire. Some people think it might have been a trick of the smoke or a reflection from the rain. Others believe it could be the spirit of someone who once lived there, finally showing itself as the place was destroyed. A few locals even claim that the house had a dark history, that years ago, a man who owned the property disappeared without a trace, and that this might have been his spirit, still bound to the place. Whatever it was, the timing feels too perfect to ignore. So, was it a coincidence? Or did the fire awaken something that was never meant to be disturbed? You decide. Now, in this next video, a man captures something far from ordinary on camera. Watch this.
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on. I don't even know how to explain what I've seen. Holy hell.
The hands on the glass suddenly vanish, and with the way the dog is barking, almost like it's warning him, something's definitely not right. But what he shared later made the situation much more disturbing. He says ever since that night, things inside his home haven't been the same. Faint knocks on his bedroom door around 3 a.m., his phone light turning on by itself, and that constant feeling like someone's standing just behind him. Then it got worse. He'd wake up to find his closet door wide open and the same set of handprints on his mirror, pressed deep, as if someone had been standing inside the room watching him sleep. His dog now refuses to enter that side of the house, growling at something unseen every night. He's even tried blessing the place, but it didn't stop. In fact, he says it made the activity more intense, like whatever was there got angry. Now he sleeps with the lights on and avoids looking at that window altogether. So what do you think? Was that a simple reflection gone wrong, or did he accidentally capture something paranormal? In this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration of the old Berlin tannery factory, and this time, he makes his way up to the second floor. Locals say this is the most active part of the building, the same place investigators have long believed holds a portal, a gateway between the living and the dead. When Ian reached that floor, he said the air felt heavier and the energy shifted instantly. Watch this.
Sounded like something in there. If there's anyone in there, could you peek out from this doorway? Man, I get a creepy feeling looking in there. What the f was that? Something just went flying. Holy sh! Holy sh! Holy sh!
Without warning, the severed hand prop flies off the table as if it were grabbed by an unseen force.
That table, right there. Oh my god, dude, that's so freaky. Oh god. There's a dude hanging right there. Who just threw this hand? Are you some kind of poltergeist? That came through the portal? Whoa. Why are those moving? Those should not be swinging. Dude, it feels like I'm in a portal right now. I wonder if this is where it is. Jesus Christ. Could you throw one of these props that are on this table? Throw them wherever you like. How about one of these ones? Oh God. Excuse me. Dead body. Could you move something over here? Oh my gosh. I still can't believe that. Dude, that thing went flying, and I'm pretty sure I caught it on camera. Never did I think I would see a severed hand go flying.
Now, skeptics might call it a draft or the building settling, but there was no open window, no movement, nothing that could have caused that. Some say the second floor is where the worker who died in the factory accident was last seen alive, and his spirit never really left. Others believe it's the portal itself reacting to Ian's presence, warning him to leave before he crosses into something he can't come back from. Whatever it was, Ian said that moment felt different, like he wasn't alone. Now, he's starting to believe the stories about the portal might not be urban legend after all. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by a woman about 3 years ago, back in 2022. She was walking around her house after hearing strange noises coming from downstairs, and at the time she thought nothing of it. It wasn't until recently, when she was transferring old files from her phone to her new laptop, that she stumbled on this clip again and noticed something she had completely missed the first time. Watch this. Aside from the tapping sounds and low groans, which were the main reason she started filming, there's something else. If you look closely near the stairs, you'll see a shadow figure moving, and you can even hear faint footsteps that seem to match. At first, she thought maybe it was an intruder, but that theory quickly fell apart when she remembered the other strange things that had been happening in that house. Doors creaking open, and a constant smell of burnt wood that would appear out of nowhere. Some say it could be the spirit of the house's original owner still pacing the halls. Others think it's something far darker, a shadow entity feeding off her fear, revealing itself only when she's alone. So what do you think? Was it the house remembering its past? Or something that never left at all? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, a woman named Gabby who shared this next video had twins, 2 beautiful girls, but sadly, one of them passed away shortly after birth. Ever since then, strange things have been happening in her home, and lately, they've been centered around her surviving daughter, Regina. The part that worries her most is how everything becomes more intense and unignorable around the twins' birthday, as if something's trying to make its presence known. Watch this.
Se acerca su cumpleaños y me siento muy nostálgica. Contexto: Regina es gemela, y yo siempre quise creer que era su hermanita que de alguna manera venía a jugar con ella. Me dicen tantas cosas que no sé qué creer y qué no.
Ven para acá, vente. Vámonos. Vente, vamos a ver la tele con las niñas. Vamos a ver.
No la dejamos jugar en el pasillo, pero literalmente ella jugaba y perseguía a alguien.
Salgas. Ven, Regi, vente para acá, mi amor.
Termino enojada porque no la deje estar ahí.
What do you even do when your child starts behaving like this? Talking to thin air, giggling at empty corners, and getting visibly angry when you try to tell her to stop playing with someone who isn't there. Some people might say it's normal for children to have imaginary friends, but Gabby says it doesn't feel like imagination. There's something about the way Regina's tone changes, or how her eyes seem to follow something moving across the room, something invisible to everyone else. At first, Gabby believed that maybe her daughter was communicating with her twin, the one she lost. It even brought her some comfort, but that changed quickly when people online started warning her that this might not be the case at all, that what she thought was a comforting presence could be something dangerous. And it wasn't long before Gabby saw something that made her believe them. Watch this.
Cuando estaba grabando, no me di cuenta de las veces que Regina me apuntaba al closet.
Ya vamos a dormirnos, ¿ok? Dame el cepillo. Dame el cepillo, ya.
Y justo cuando vuelve a apuntar, sin voltear a ver, pasó esto.
Vamos a mimir, mi amor. Pásate a tu camita, mi vida. Señora, ya nos vamos a dormir, ¿eh? ¿Dónde te vas a dormir?
Y seguía diciendo.
No, qué máquina. No. ¿Dónde te vas a dormir? Mira, tu camita están de okis los monos. Ay, Regina.
Quienes nos siguen saben que ella desde que tenía meses de nacida ve a alguien.
Señora, ya nos vamos a dormir, ¿eh? ¿Dónde te vas a dormir?
No, que no.
No, qué máquina.
After this video, everything suddenly started making sense. Regina had always been pointing at the closet, whispering to it, waving, even bringing toys there and talking like someone was playing with her. For the longest time, Gabby thought it was innocent, maybe even a spiritual connection between twins. But after what she saw in that clip, she started putting the pieces together, wondering if whatever was in their house had found a way to reach her daughter, using the face of someone she loved. Now, Gabby's sure this isn't her late child, but one of her videos went viral because viewers claimed she was the one walking past the hallway, not a spirit, but Gabby quickly cleared that up with another recording. Take a look.
Por el tamaño también sé que no son mis hijas. Cuando voy a grabar la máquina que limpia me muevo hacia adelante.
And if you watch closely, you'll notice Regina's face. The confusion, the fear, that's not a child pretending, that's genuine terror. Someone or something else is in that house, but what's even stranger is how it behaves. Watch.
Por estar viendo a Regina a través del teléfono no veo en el momento lo que pasa.
It never attacks, it never speaks, it just moves quietly, and for some reason only interacts with Regina. It might be that the spirit is trying to earn her trust, appearing harmless before revealing its true intentions, or the house holds something older, something that attaches itself, and right now, Regina is its focus. But I'll leave this for you to be the judge. Is it a guardian in disguise, or a parasite waiting to feed? You decide. Now, in this next clip, a man named Michael claims there's a ghost at his workplace, one that seems to have taken a special interest in messing with him. Take a look. If it was just a one-off situation, maybe he would have brushed it off. But this wasn't the first time something strange had happened around him. He says it started weeks before this video was recorded, but the most chilling part for Michael happened in the conference room. He was setting up for a meeting when he heard a woman humming faintly, the same tune his late coworker used to hum every morning. He thought maybe someone was outside until he realized the sound was coming from the speaker system that wasn't even powered on. At this point, Michael's convinced whatever's in that building has attached itself to him specifically. Some say it's the spirit of that same coworker trying to reach out. Others believe the office itself might be built on something that doesn't want to be disturbed. Whatever it is, this haunting doesn't seem ready to stop anytime soon. Until we get more updates on the situation, this remains unsolved. This next clip is about another mother, Haley, whose son keeps waking up in the middle of the night absolutely terrified, and it's starting to break her. She says it's been happening for months now. Some nights he wakes up screaming, other nights he just sits up in bed shaking, pointing at something she can't see. She's tried everything a mother could think of. Night lights, soft music, even sleeping beside him, but nothing seems to work. She's even spoken to doctors who suggested it might be night terrors, but Haley says what she's seen doesn't look anything like that. Watch this.
What is it? Baby, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. Okay, I don't see it.
Seeing a child that's scared in the middle of the night for no reason at all, that would break anyone's heart. She says she's now afraid to sleep, worried she'll wake up to his cries again. Some people online believe children are more sensitive to things adults can't perceive, that maybe her son is seeing something she's not meant to see. Others think it could be a lingering energy in the house, possibly connected to the property's history, or even an attachment to an old object in his room. A few have pointed out that the boy's reactions seem to focus on the same corner every time, which, to some, is a sign it's not just imagination. But skeptics insist it's stress, or maybe a recurring sleep disorder that's gotten worse with time. Either way, Haley's at her breaking point, and no one seems to have an answer. So what exactly do you think is going on here? Now, in this next clip, Ian, the popular Midwest ghost hunter, was still at the old Berlin tannery factory, searching for answers when he entered the one place he still regrets till today. Watch this.
This looks like a freaky maze. Do I dare go in here? Yeah, screw it. Why not? Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, that thunder. It almost sounded like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What the f? Dude, the f***ing strobe lights are on. Get me out of here, get me out of here. I can't f***ing see. Oh, dude, what the hell was that about? Those freaking things just came on by themselves. Who just turned those lights on? Oh my god, I about fainted when that freaking happened. I wonder if maybe they're motion censored. Maybe they just detected my motion and turned on. Oh god, I don't want to go back in there, but gotta test it out. Oh, my goodness, I'm getting tangled. Oh, the lights aren't going off. What the hell? What's going on? These things should be going off. Look, I'm already on the other side now. Oh man, oh. Yeah, like I'm moving all around in here. And there's nothing. They aren't going off. If you're still in here, could you trigger the lights?
Built in 1853, the Berlin Tannery has undergone several name changes and even survived a massive fire in 1923 before finally closing its doors in 1987. Since then, it's remained abandoned, except for the stories that never quite went away. Locals say the factory was never truly empty, that some of the workers who perished in the fire were never accounted for. Others claim the basement tunnels were used for something darker, a place where experiments and rituals took place long after operations officially stopped. As Ian moved deeper into the maze-like corridors, the atmosphere thickened, but he tried to stay calm, convinced whatever was happening had an explanation. But that changed when he saw this.
Oh shit, oh shit, I just saw a fucking face. There's just a face in there. Oh, there's someone in here with me. I need to get the hell out of here. Oh shit, I don't even know where I am. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god. Dude, there was someone in there. I fucking saw a face looking right at me in there. Show yourself. Peek out from one of the tassels. It was like over on this side. I'm pretty sure. There's no one. There's no one. I'm not going back in there. No way. I about got lost and never came back. Jesus. Whoever's in there, they're the ones that did it. That's what I'm certain of. That just tells you right there that that wasn't me that triggered it. I thought maybe it was me. Maybe it was a motion sensor, but it should have went off because I was going crazy in there. I was like getting tangled up. Holy shit. That was terrifying.
Did Ian see the spirit of one of those workers who never made it out? Or could this be connected to the rumors about a watcher, the figure said to appear to anyone who stays in the tannery too long? The experience left Ian completely shaken, questioning everything he believed about the place. Whatever or whoever was inside that maze had unsettled him in ways he still can't explain. For more haunting videos, including Ian, subscribe to the channel. In the following video, two friends experienced what might have been the scariest day of their lives, when one of them suddenly ran into the room, panicked, claiming she saw someone inside the house. Watch this.
Of the kitchen, like
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Great. His light is on.
And the freaking, I literally saw.
No, Gracie, his light's on.
Yes.
I turned it off. No.
I can't. I literally can't call the cops. That's serious. Like that's how serious I am.
And the light is on, and so swear on everything. That big light's on. No, the light, like one of the lights is on. I don't remember which one. And then I came in here because I got scared. Did you? They're gonna break the door. Did you not see that shadow? Yes. You saw it too. Saw it not your bed. No. We're right here. We're right here. Please. Close. Okay. No, I'm really scared, Gracie. Help me with this. It's still locked. Just go run. Gracie, stop! Don't do that. I'm not ready for. I was staying happy for someone. For that.
From the way the video ends, with the cops yelling "hands up," the idea that someone might have actually been there is terrifying. But here's the strangest part. No one knows how that night ended because the girls never posted a follow-up. So for now, what really happened inside that house still remains a mystery. This next clip is body cam footage released after a woman called the cops, convinced someone was inside her home. Have a look.
Anyone inside? I'm gonna check downstairs, you get upstairs. Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known. Downstairs, clear. Upstairs clear? Yeah, we're good.
After searching every room, closet, and hallway, the officers found no trace of an intruder, no open windows, no footprints. But for the homeowner, that made things even worse. She says this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. According to her, it started with doors unlocking on their own, faint footsteps in the hallway, and lights turning on at odd hours of the night. Now, after watching the body cam footage back, she's starting to believe it's not a person at all, but something else entirely. Some viewers think it could be a residual haunting, others believe she might have unknowingly brought something into the house, maybe from an antique or a secondhand piece of furniture. But what do you think? I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Now, in this next clip, a man captures a terrifying incident at his place of work that still keeps him up at night. Watch this.
Compañeros, hago este video porque estaba escuchando ruidos aquí atrás. Son las 3:25 de la mañana. No veo nada. Miren. Miren. Miren eso. Se acaba de caer. Se está moviendo esto. No hay nadie por acá. No hay nadie. Miren, se movió esto. Ahorita que venía caminando por acá. No veo a nadie. Miren. 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 Miren cómo se mueve eso. Para que vean que no hay nadie aquí.
From the look of things, this seems to be inside a hospital. And with all the strange things people claim to experience in hospitals, it's hard to ignore this. A few nights later, he caught what looked like a shadow crossing behind a patient room, a room that had been empty for over a week. And then there's the elevator incident. He was on the ground floor alone when the elevator suddenly opened by itself, and the monitor showed it had come down from the morgue level, even though no one had called it. What makes it creepier is that staff who work the night shift have also reported hearing the intercom turn on randomly with faint breathing sounds and doors to storage rooms opening by themselves. Some believe hospitals are places where spirits linger, tied to moments of suffering or confusion before death. Others think he's dealing with an intelligent haunting, maybe even the spirit of a former patient who refuses to move on. Whatever the case, he says the activity has grown stronger over time, almost as if it's aware that he's been recording it. And the scariest part? He's now started hearing his own name being whispered when the halls go silent. Whatever's inside that hospital doesn't seem ready to leave. In this next video, a woman reaches for her camera after she starts hearing strange sounds coming from her living room. She said it had been happening for weeks. Faint footsteps, quiet knocks, and sometimes the sound of furniture shifting when no one was there. But her friends didn't believe her, so this time she decided to film it. Listen closely.
Saying I'm schizophrenic. Do you hear that? Lord, save me. What? here, bitch.
She's now convinced her house is haunted, but with everything she's experienced, she insists that since no harm has come to her, she can live with it. Some people in the comments agreed, saying maybe it's a harmless spirit, one that's simply attached to the home or to her energy, but others weren't so sure. They pointed out how the activity seemed to happen mostly when she was alone, suggesting something darker, an intelligent presence that responds to her awareness. One viewer even mentioned that ignoring such activity might only make it worse, like giving it permission to stay. So what does she do now? For the moment, she says she's sticking to her gut and staying in the house. She doesn't feel unsafe, and as long as the activity remains harmless, she's willing to coexist with whatever or whoever is causing it. Still, it's hard not to wonder, will things stay peaceful, or could this be just the beginning of something more sinister? Only time will tell. This next clip was recorded inside the elevator of a mansion that's no stranger to strange events. 5 years before this footage was captured, a lifeless body was discovered on the 4th floor, and ever since then, nothing about this building has been normal. Residents began complaining that the elevator would stop on the 4th floor at random, even when no one pressed the button. Some said they saw a figure waiting just outside the doors, a pale woman standing still in the hallway doing absolutely nothing. One day, this was captured on camera. Watch. Now, looking at this footage, it's hard not to wonder, who exactly is he greeting? He nods almost politely, like he met someone in the elevator, but it was completely empty. There were also rumors about how the elevator behaved on the 4th floor. Over time, the complaints became more specific. People claimed the elevator doors would open on their own, or that they'd hear footsteps pacing on the 4th floor long after midnight. The management company tried everything: maintenance checks, security patrols, even replacing the elevator panel. But the reports didn't stop. Instead, they spread. First, the 4th floor residents moved out. Then those on the 3rd and 5th floors followed. Soon, the entire building started emptying, and the few who stayed said the activity got even worse once most people left. But after this video was shared online, it sparked a strange debate. Can spirits press buttons? Maintenance records show the elevator was inspected just 2 days before this footage was taken, and found to be in perfect condition. Watch. So if no one pressed the button and there was no malfunction, what exactly made the elevator stop on the 4th floor that night? Now, we've posted a clip from this guy before, and if you remember, he's the one who decided to start documenting the strange things happening in the house he shares with 2 roommates and his cat. It all began in the summer of 2023, when a door suddenly slammed into him for no reason. Since then, the activity hasn't stopped, especially in the kitchen. He's heard banging, clattering, and the sound of cabinets opening when no one's home. So this time, he decided to try something different. He set up 2 phones, one inside the kitchen, one outside facing the kitchen door, locked up the house, turned off the heating to prevent airflow, and went out for a walk with his roommates, leaving everything perfectly still. Watch this. So far, no one's been able to give him a convincing explanation on how that door moved when no one was there. This next clip was recorded by a man the moment he got close to his apartment and felt like something wasn't right. He said he saw something, so he pulled out his phone and started recording. Take a look. If you watch closely, you'll notice a faint white shadow. A few viewers pointed out that spirits are often drawn to people with heightened anxiety or fear, almost as if his unease triggered the encounter in the first place. But others think this was a warning, that whatever's in that area doesn't want him there. So what do you think he saw that night? A trick of the light or something much darker waiting for him to come back? You decide. The following video is about a man you might remember from previous clips on this channel, the guy with the haunted teddy. Well, it looks like things have taken a new turn. Whatever was tormenting him before seems to have moved on from the teddy, and is now targeting other things in his house. Watch this.
Me acabo de acostar, pero hay algo que lo escucho. Hay alguien corriendo. ¡Basta! 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 Aparece, aparece, basta. Aparece. Salí, yo no te tengo más miedo. No te tengo más miedo. Aparece, aparece. Estoy viendo ahí. ¿Qué es eso? Te estoy viendo ahí. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás?
He keeps hearing strange noises, thuds, whispers, taps, and now even the doors are starting to act out on their own. It's like every time he thinks he's close to solving one mystery, another one shows up to replace it. So what do you think he's dealing with this time? Something attached to him? Or just the house itself? In this next clip, a guy named Mosh was streaming with friends when they noticed something unusual happening in the background. Have a look.
This is a pig challenge. No sweat. Get it? Pigs don't sweat. You got this.
The TV, which he even got up to confirm was completely unplugged, suddenly turned itself on and off. Some people believe the unplugged TV reacting like that could mean there's a strong electromagnetic presence, maybe even paranormal. Others say it might have stored a little residual charge and was reacting to interference from nearby devices. But then there's another angle that started a whole debate online: the fact that one TV was facing another. Some say that creates an energy loop, a kind of mirror effect that can attract strange occurrences or even confuse spirits. So, what do you think? Was it a simple tech glitch, or did Mosh accidentally open some kind of strange loop between two worlds? Now, in this next clip, a family was out trying to find a nice park to spend the day with the kids. But for some reason, every park they searched for online either didn't exist or was closed. After driving around for a while and realizing they might have been scammed by Google Maps, they decided to ask people around, only to be told they had the wrong address. Not wanting to disappoint the kids or get an earful from his wife, the husband quickly came up with a plan B. He figured there's gotta be another park somewhere close by. So he stopped to ask someone on the road, and the guy told him, yeah, there's a park not too far from here. Well, there was one, but when they finally got there, nobody felt like having a park day anymore. Watch this.
Kau buat apa Ha? Orang dah tak ada. Kau boleh bergoyang sendiri pula kau ni. Aduh, petang-petang ni. Laju pula tu.
To be fair, you can't really blame the person he asked. He wasn't lying, there was a park. The husband just didn't specify whether he meant a family park or a possibly haunted do not enter type of park. Next time, maybe clarify that part. But back to the clip. The place was completely empty, not a single soul in sight. And then that swing started moving on its own. Yeah, that pretty much killed the whole family picnic vibe. What about you though? Would you still hop on one of those swings? I'd love to know. This next clip was recorded by a mother, and once again, another parent joins the growing list of people who believe children really can see things we can't. Because, as always, there are two sides to this argument. Critics often insist that kids only imagine what they can't explain, that it's a mix of overactive imagination, sleep patterns, and suggestive environments. Some even say parents often project their own fears or grief onto what the child says or does. But then there are parents like the woman in this next video, people who have witnessed things they can't rationalize no matter how hard they try. And for her, this particular moment was the one that changed everything. Take a look.
¿Qué pasó, mamá? Luna, ¿se entiende? Luna. Regina, ¿a quién le hablas, mami?
Now, here's the story behind what you just saw. Sadly, the year she lost her first daughter, Luna, only a few weeks later, she found out she was pregnant again. It was a bittersweet moment, mourning one child while preparing to bring another into the world. The baby, named Regina, never met Luna. She was born into a quiet house where Luna's name was rarely spoken, not because they didn't love her, but because the grief was still too raw to revisit. But when Regina began talking, something strange started happening. She would wander around the living room, smiling and pointing at nothing, whispering the name Luna. At first, her mother brushed it off as baby talk until the words became clearer. Luna, she'd say, giggling, waving her tiny hands, and sometimes even running toward a corner of the room as if someone was waiting there. Many would say maybe she overheard her parents talk about Luna once, or maybe she saw a picture, but according to the mother, that's not the case. So how did she know it? Well, that was years ago. Fast forward to now, and things have only gotten stranger. Regina still mentions Luna, but lately what she sees doesn't seem as playful as before. Watch this.
¿Ya? ¿Ya nos dormimos? Mami, vámonos. Vente, vamos a dormir ya, corazón. ¿Por qué te vas para allá, mi amor? Vámonos ya, vente. Vente, vámonos a dormir ya. Vámonos. Regina, vámonos ya. Vente, mi amor. Vente. Vamos a... ¿Qué pasó? Ay, Dios mío. Ceñito. Vamos a dormirnos, mi amor, por favor.
Y luego esto.
¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Estás bien? Regi, agarra tu juguete, mi amor.
This time, viewers started noticing something the mother didn't catch at first. The door with the glass panel in the background. Something about it just felt wrong. Some viewers swore they saw a faint shape move behind it. Others claimed they saw a hand pressed lightly against the glass for just a second before vanishing. The comments flooded in. Hundreds of people telling her to check that door, to record from a different angle, to maybe even bless the house. So she made a follow-up video to explain.
Para mí, el que mi hija se haya quedado adentro de mí, nunca salió de mí, nunca nada ni mínimo salió de mí. Para mí tiene un valor muy especial, tiene un significado muy mío. Espero que me entiendan y que no piensen que estoy loca,
para mí protegió a Regina porque el diagnóstico era muy malo. O sea, créanme que estuvimos en mucho peligro Regina y yo. Y fue nuestro ángel, literalmente fue nuestro ángel, y así lo veo. Y desde chiquitita Regina tiene eso de que platica, ve a alguien, y yo estoy muy al pendiente. Les agradezco esa preocupación que tienen de que probablemente sea otra cosa, y yo estoy siempre encomendando a mis bebés, a mis hijas en general, a Dios. Pero mi corazón de madre me hace sentir como un sentimiento bonito de que si no es Luna, probablemente es alguien, su angelito, que está jugando con ella. No siento nada negativo, pero les agradezco su preocupación.
She said she doesn't believe it's anything evil, that whatever's happening doesn't pose a threat. She admitted that she's not sure it's Luna, but she believes it could be Regina's guardian angel, maybe someone sent to watch over her. "We're safe," she said in that video, trying to reassure her audience. But not long after, everything changed again. The same mother who once calmly explained the situation came back visibly shaken, this time asking for help.
¿Qué pasó? Ay, Dios, ahora sí me asusté. ¿Qué pasó? Ay, Rachel. Bueno, yo me estaba bañando y la dejé en el cuarto solita, con el cuarto cerrado. Y cuando me estaba bañando, oigo que grita y la veo ahí paradita, pero aquí gritando y haciéndole así con la mano, no, no. Obviamente me salí lo más rápido que pude, abrí la puerta, pues no hay nadie, mis hijas están dormidas y no hay nadie. Y está como asustada. Antes de que agarrara el teléfono, así con la manita le decía, no, no. Igual yo siempre encomiendo a mis hijas, a Dios. Aquí tengo mi Biblia, un angelito, y siempre encomendada a Dios. Y no sé qué asustó a Regina mientras yo me estaba bañando. Y no es tan tarde, son las 7:28. Vente, mi amor. ¿Estás bien? ¿Estás bien? Vámonos. Vente. Mira, apunta para allá. ¿Qué, mi amor? Vámonos. ¿Qué, mi amor? ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué pasó? Ven, amor. Ven, amorcito. Vente. Venga, mi niña. It's okay.
It's no longer about innocent pointing or quiet conversations. Now, Regina's screaming. The mother says the little girl wakes up in the middle of the night, pointing at corners of the room, crying, saying no over and over again. The only thing the mother's holding on to now is her Bible and her prayers, but it's getting worse.
Ya, mi amor, tranquila. Tranquila. Aquí estoy. Dame la mano. Aquí estoy, tranquila. Literalmente, el agua sigue corriendo. Me estoy bañando. Mi teléfono lo tenía ahí, pero lo quise agarrar inmediatamente. Ella estaba aquí jugando contigo, jugando con sus juguetitos. Y otra vez lo mismo. Un grito y apuntando para allá. ¿Qué pasa, mi amor? ¿Qué hay allá? Ay, Dios mío. ¿Qué pasó, mi amor? ¿Allá? No. Vámonos al cuarto. No. Ok. ¿Qué, Regi? No, mi amor, ven. Ay, Dios mío. No sé, ya no sé ni qué pensar. Me trae para acá. Aquí ya tengo súper iluminado. Ven, mi amor. Aquí está como dejé todo a medias. Ya no sé ni qué pensar. Ya la acosté, ya se acostó con su hermana. Pero ya, o sea, ya es mucho. Ya es mucho, ya no sé qué pensar. La casa está relativamente iluminada, es de noche, ya van a ser las 9, ya nos vamos a dormir. Está iluminado aquí, está iluminado allá, aquí. Tengo esa luz también a medias, no la voy a tener tampoco completa. Pero ya no sé ni qué pensar.
It's hard to say what's really going on here, whether this is a haunting, a guardian spirit, or something else entirely. But one thing's for sure, this is a concerned mother who just wants her daughter to be okay. So what do you think? Is Regina really seeing her sister Luna, or something much darker pretending to be her? In this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian visits one of the most unsettling places he's ever explored, the old Berlin tannery factory. For years, locals have claimed the place is haunted by a spirit they call the Toucher, said to scratch, grab, or lightly brush against anyone who dares to walk its halls alone. And on this visit, Ian was about to find out why. When he arrived, he steadied his nerves and began moving toward the catwalks, the same ones where, according to local workers, a man had tragically fallen to his death decades ago. The air was thick, heavy, and Ian said it felt like someone was right behind him with every step. Then, this happened.
Oh wow, check out that truck. That thing looks like it's from like the 1950s. Boy, they got all kinds of cool stuff down here. Whoa. Look at that, that's like a Ouija board. That is freaky. That trailer is a planchette. Dude, just imagine if that thing moved around like a planchette. Holy crap. Yeah, I don't use those things. Bad juju. I came from in here. And there's the catwalks. Is that you in here? Are you working? Dude, it sounded like footsteps up there. Like hard, heavy footsteps. Oh my God. My heart is racing. But as you can see, there's no one up there. Is it alright if I come up there? Am I authorized? Could you make a noise to let me know? Shoot, well, I'm coming up anyway. Hope you don't mind.
Now, was that a good idea? Maybe not, because right after that, he took out his spirit box and climbed the stairs to the upper level. And what he heard next still spooks him till this very day.
I ain't got a light. Whoa. That was a man's voice right there. Are you saying your name? Who are you? Whoa. Sir, why do you still haunt this tannery? But you said railing. Railing. Like fell over the railing. Are you saying that you died on these catwalks? And that you fell? Whoa. It sounded like that's what happened. Jesus, this is so crazy. Thank you, sir, for communicating with me. Is there anything you would like to say? Sounded like it said work. Are you going back to work? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get back to work then, if that's the case.
He froze, then slowly turned to leave, trying to shake off the chill creeping up his spine. But before he could take another step, something happened.
That was insane communication. He literally just said how he died. And that's what they say. They say that a worker died here. That totally makes a lot of sense. Whoa, whoa, what the hell? Something just moved down there. Holy shit. Oh my god. Just look at that. What is that? That's like a cart. And it just freaking moved.
Ian stepped away, nearly tripping over a metal pipe. Could it have been the wind? He whispered under his breath, but the look on his face said it all. Deep down, he already knew the answer. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, a man who's been complaining about strange occurrences in his home, claiming it's haunted, finally managed to capture something that might prove he's not imagining things. For months, he's told his landlord about what's been happening, but no one's ever taken him seriously. No proof, no evidence, just his word. But that changed one night when he woke up to a strange sound coming from outside. His first thought? The ghost is back. So this time, he grabbed his phone, determined to catch it in the act, and stepped outside to see what was going on. Watch this.
Orang yang berang pukre, ya buron ni. Di kalau saya ni kami yang sang cok thang boleh roya. Aku thang lain ni kan? Di kalau saya ni kena dong. Kena dong nak kan? Kamu sekali dong. Thang ni kena apa? Oh muyo ya kisah. Betul tu kalau saya tiap le. Oh muyo. Wow.
After recording the video, he immediately sent it to his landlord, hoping this would finally convince them something was off. He also shared it with a few friends, and before long it was online for everyone to see. The comments that followed were a mix of sympathy and humor. Some joked that maybe the ghost was just helping out, but others pointed out something far darker. That perhaps a former tenant once lived and died there, and what the man captured wasn't a haunting at all, but the spirit replaying fragments of its past life, doing the same things it did before it passed. If that's true, then the man's nightly disturbances might not be a haunting out to scare him, but a restless echo of someone who simply doesn't realize they're gone. Hopefully, his landlord takes him seriously this time. Now, this next clip was recorded by a CCTV camera inside a shop, and what happened in it continues to stun everyone who's seen the footage. Watch this. At first glance, it looks like a normal night, nothing unusual, but then things start moving on their own. Items shift, fall, and one object in particular floats up off the counter, hovers for a moment in midair, and then drops straight to the floor. That's the moment everyone froze. Many people who've seen this footage tried to come up with logical explanations. Some say it could have been a mild earthquake or vibration, but no one's ever seen an earthquake lift something upward and keep it suspended like that before. Whatever happened in that shop that night, it's enough to make anyone question what they thought they knew about the world around them. So, what do you think? Did the camera capture something paranormal, or is there another explanation that we just haven't figured out yet? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, in this next video, two roommates share their increasingly creepy situation. For a while now, they've been dealing with things that go far beyond what they can explain, and most of it seems to happen inside their garage. On some days, they'd hear loud banging sounds or tools clattering on their own, as if someone was working in there late at night. On other days, the lights would flicker violently, and the sound of something dragging across the concrete would echo through the house. It used to happen randomly, maybe once or twice a week, but now it's become a daily occurrence. So they decided to install a camera to finally see what's going on. Watch this. It's one thing to wake up to strange noises and find nothing there, but what the camera caught the second time made their skin crawl. One of the chairs in the garage was suddenly launched onto a couch. The couch is just out of frame, but if you look closely, you can see the chair move violently. Considering everything they've already endured, the constant noises, flickering lights, and movement when no one's around, it's hard to brush this off as mere coincidence. In the following clip, a lady named Jess wakes up early one morning to strange, unsettling sounds coming from her attic. Take a look.
It's okay, Birdie. It's okay. Nope. Nope.
She was home alone with her 2 dogs. Kaiser was in the living room, and Butavius, her smaller one, was whining nervously beside her. When people online asked why she didn't go up to check, Jess had the perfect answer. In her words, that's how people get killed in horror movies. Y'all might have the courage to go look, but I don't. She explained that although she didn't necessarily feel any dark or negative energy that morning, she wasn't about to take chances either. Now, here's where things get interesting. Her attic doesn't have any windows, just a large old mirror that's been up there since she moved in, and according to Jess, people had warned her to get rid of that mirror long before anything strange even started happening. But lately, it's become almost routine. Every morning around the same time, she wakes up to banging and the sound of footsteps pacing above her. So, what do you think Jess is dealing with? Could that mirror be acting as a portal, reflecting more than just her image? Or is there something else hidden in that attic that's been trying to get her attention? You decide.